Yeah, we are. We're exactly in the middle of a subdivision. As you can see behind you, there's beautiful homes, $200,000, $300,000 homes, and in the backyards, these people are unfortunately looking at active oil wells at this point.
Okay, and how'd that all happen?
Well, unfortunately, when this all took place 4 or 5 years ago, people were promised hundreds of dollars a month, up to $500 a month on oil royalties, and that has dwindled down to sometimes about $10 or $15 a month.
And how is it that these places are here in the middle of these areas? I mean, I'm seeing a lot of land, but how does that all work?
Well, the companies come in and they promise the residents not only the monetary value, but they'll come in and they won't even know an oil well is here. But I can tell you from experience, this oil well, the neighbors know this oil well is here, not only by looking at it every day, but because of the problems they've had with it. We had a major oil spill here 2 years ago, and it took months to clean that up. The EPA was here, the ODNR was here, and it did take months to clean up.
Okay, and you were saying before, I mean, you don't have a problem necessarily with drilling per se, but it's just the way they've been going about it.
Right, we're not against drilling in Ohio for natural gas or for oil for that fact, but we are against urban drilling, and we think the same laws for Noble County or Guernsey County should not apply here in North Royalton or in Cuyahoga County. There's 31,000 people that live in North Royalton, Parma just to our north, Broadview Heights to our east. Hundreds of thousands of people live in this area. We think we should have separate rules and ordinances for drilling, and we would like to get back the local rule that we lost back in the early 2000s.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, the state decided that the cities would no longer have any say-so whatsoever as far as where an oil well can go in their community or where a driller can sign up people for leases.
And so they just can't come wherever they want.
So it's wildcatting all over again. They can come in here, and if they're shrewd enough and can finagle their way into somebody's living room and have them sign, then that oil company owns those mineral rights.
Now explain that a little bit again. This is all, I guess this is all vacant land, but explain the situation where a homeowner is approached and then signs something.
Well, they'll knock on the door and they'll give you a pretty good sales pitch that you could earn possibly up to $500 a month royalties, and I know that would get my attention, but unfortunately they don't tell you everything that might come with that. The well outside your back window, the noise pollution, the smell of the oil well, the burping of the natural gas wells. And when it comes time for the check to arrive and you open it up and it's only $11 or $15, or they send you a letter to say we're not going to send you a check monthly because you're not making enough. So I think these are the issues that the residents did not expect.
And you've tried to meet with these guys?
We've been down in Columbus twice now since May, fighting for our residents in North Royalton not to become part of an oil well. They're trying to mandatorily pool not only the city but 2 homeowners in North Royalton into their next adventure in drilling.
Okay. So what would you like to see happen?
Well, I would like to see local control, first off, be returned back to the communities. Under local rule, we should be able to decide if we want oil wells, where we want them in the city. That's a minimum. And I think as far as the mandatory pooling goes, it's beyond me how they can allow that to happen, how they can force people into doing something they don't want to do with their property.
Well, explain that. What do you mean? How are they going to enforce it?
If they can get 17 or 18 acres together, but they still need 3 acres, they can force those people to be part of that oil well by just filing a mandatory pool permit in Columbus. Then we've had this happen to us twice now. We have gone down to Columbus to fight that, and our last escapade, we went down in August earlier this month, and we're told once we arrived in Columbus that the meeting was canceled, and that was the second meeting for this particular well.
Well, I mean, I guess, but you do recognize the need for oil, right?
Absolutely, we understand that. It's good for the economy. It's, again, great in Noble County, Athens County, but where houses are in a rural or a urban area, oil wells do not belong in an urban area, period. Again, a backyard here, oil well here, you can hear it, you can smell it, it is an oil well in somebody's backyard.
What have constituents been telling you? Residents that work there? I mean,
Well, many subdivisions, many residents are against it now. We've been educating our residents. Many homeowners associations have said that they won't allow their common property to be part of an oil well. But doing all those things, the state said that the oil companies can still come in and mandatorily pool you. And that's where we have the biggest problem right now. We want that changed. We want local rule given back to the communities.
Okay. Anything else I'm missing?
We've been lobbying our state senators and state representatives. Unfortunately, we're north of Route 18 here in Cuyahoga County, and we're outnumbered in the southern part of the state, where oil drilling, possibly could be a good thing for the economy down there. But unfortunately, again, in an urban area, we don't want the wells there.
Okay, that's good.
All right, good enough. I'll give you a couple of my cards.
Okay, good.